Welcome everyone. Welcome to our live. Hope everyone is doing well. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone is good. It's good to see everyone here. Welcome everyone. So hopefully you guys can see me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I am live, babe. Happy to see everyone in the comments. I see your comments coming in. So let's do this. Get started in a second. All right, so we should be live on Instagram now. So welcome to everyone. This is our live. What I tasked to do today is to introduce a special challenge that our organization has. I want to welcome all of our Munroe Global subscribers, followers, viewers. Totally love all you guys, man. Thank you for the support over the years. Thank you for continuing the legacy. Thank you for continuing to get the message of the kingdom out. For those of you that don't know, my name is Myles Munroe Jr. I am the president and CEO here at Munroe Global. I also oversee the development and the building of our curriculum over at the Munroe Institute of Leadership. And that is what I have come to introduce you to today. So the Munroe Institute of Leadership was founded many years ago before me. My dad initially had the vision to establish a leadership institute, and he had been working on it for many years. Like I say, before my time, when I was born, as I grew and developed, and even into my adulthood. So I've been working very closely with him throughout the entire process, and that is something that we are continuing, have decided to continue. It's truly an important aspect of not only my life but our organizations. Our organizations are committed to building leaders around the world, right? And not only leaders that are able to develop and perfect themselves, but who are able to continue that process and that development into their families, into their communities, and into their cities and countries as well. So the goal is to create a global network of leaders with the same mindset, the same vision of continuing that building, continuing that development. And here at Munroe Global, my family, everyone that is a part of our organizations, we share in that vision to bring that to pass. So I want to continue recognizing people. I'm gonna give maybe 2 more minutes for those who want to join in. I see a lot of people joining in from YouTube, joining in from Facebook, joining in from Instagram. Welcome. Thank you guys. This is something that we tend to do pretty often. Establishing this institute, the Munroe Institute of Leadership, we want to engage more with our community. That's a focal point for us within the institute. It's engaging with like-minded individuals like yourself, who not only want to develop themselves, but want to see others develop as well. And that's something that we are intrinsically keen on in doing, right? This institute is for leaders, by leaders, right? Our goal, our mission is to continue to train the trainers, right? Continue to develop and create agents of change globally so that we can be we can start to affect and be the change that we want to see, not only in our communities, not only in our cities, but on a global stage as well. So I want to welcome everyone. Really excited about this challenge, really excited about the work that we are doing, that you guys will be seeing as we roll them out for the remainder of this year. We've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I want to say special thanks and shout outs to our team, who keeps this engine going, especially the team over at the Munroe Institute of Leadership. This coming fall, we have some exciting courses or some exciting programs that we're going to be making available for folks to get involved with, to learn from, to continue their self-development, self-assessment, and just self-knowledge, right? Just continuing to build ourselves. So I'm so happy for you guys tuning in. I see individuals joining from, a number of places. I see New Zealand. I see Atlanta in the U.S. I see Rwanda. Welcome. I see France. Wow. I see South Africa. I see Louisiana in the United States. I see Zambia. I see Tallahassee. I see Nigeria. I see Puerto Rico. And I see someone else from Nigeria. Welcome, welcome. Man, it's just, I'm always encouraged by the continued support from you guys. Toronto, Canada, Mauritius. Wow, man, we are definitely representing from a global perspective. And it's who we are as an organization, right? This is what we want to continue to do. It's what our founder envisioned for this organization, and is what us and me as the lead in this aspect, want to continue. So I want to jump into with what I want to discuss for today. I don't want to keep you too long, but I want to be strong at the same time. The purpose of this live is to really set the stage for the 5-day purpose challenge that we have coming up. We want to do this by exploring why purpose is the foundation for lasting influence. I truly believe that everything begins and ends with purpose, right? Anything that we do, anything that we want to do, it has to be for a purpose and done on purpose. There are principles of purpose that exist, that are innately involved with the why for everything that exists, right? And purpose really determines the why. Purpose answers the question of why. If you have ever asked yourself or been questioning, man, why am I here? Why do I exist? This challenge is for you. This challenge is built and designed to support you where you are and to get you to the next level. I remember when I was growing up and just questioning, man, what is my purpose in life? What am I here for? What am I supposed to do? I've been hearing about purpose, potential, vision. I've been hearing all of these terms my entire life. And, as I grew and developed, I really wanted to, identify, man, what is my purpose? What am I placed in this earth for? And then in 2014, when I lost my parents, man, it was, I was kind of lost in a sense, right? Because I had envisioned myself, my purpose being working along with my parents, right? And them being here and us doing it together. So them being removed from the equation, it was like, man, God, what is this? Like, what is it that I'm supposed to do now, right? And, this process of me figuring it out and really, fine tuning what my individual purpose is and being able to tie that into the vision of all of our organizations and bring them together, not only to help myself, right? Because I don't think purpose is never for self gratification. I think once we find our purpose in life, our true purpose in life, we realize that it's not for us, right? It's for everyone else, right? It's for us to either solve a problem or plug a hole that's in our ecosystem, right? As a global ecosystem. there's a problem that we were sent here to solve. And my goal, vision, mission within not only Munroe Global as an organization, but the Munroe Institute of Leadership as an institute, as a leadership institute, is to trigger those red flags, or those white flags, I should say, in your minds, for you to really figure out and decide, man, I want to know what it is that I am placed on this earth for, and start living out my purpose. Like I say, I've been learning these principles for my entire life. I can remember myself as a young kid learning it in church, right? Children's church. And these are principles that have been instilled in me, not only in church, but in my home. My dad would continue to repeat these and say these to us, and remind us of why purpose is so important, why it's so important for us to discover why we exist, right? There's this saying that there are the two greatest days in your life is, one, the day you were born, and the second is the day you discover why. So that's how significant purpose is, right? Purpose really not only determines what we do in life, but it determines who we become. And the goal should be to discover the purpose, not that we think we have, right? But discover the purpose that we know we were destined to fulfill. So I want to talk about why purpose still matters. So purpose is not just a motivation, it's the original intent. A purposeful leader leads from identity, doesn't lead from insecurities. Leadership without purpose leads to burnout, misuse, and a loss of trust. And I think we are experiencing this type of leadership in our world today. We have leaders who are money driven, are driven by capitalism, are driven by numbers, right? There's no purpose behind it. And a lot of the times when we have leaders who are driven, or who are not driven by purpose, it leads to a lot of burnout, not only of the leaders, but of the persons that are serving that leader or serving that vision. It leads to misuse of resources, misuse of time, misuse of energy, misuse of people, and then it leads to the loss of the drive, or the intent, or the ambition to even complete the job. Right? We just don't want to continue. It's not about status. It's really about stewardship. This word stewardship has been on my heart for this entire year so far. I think the Lord has really been transitioning me into a mindset, more into a mindset of stewardship. It's not about ownership, right? It's not about what we own, or what it is I have in my possession. It's, Lord, these are the resources that you have given me. These are the skills. And that's why the Munroe Institute of Leadership was established. This institute, wasn't started by me. This was started by my dad many years ago. It's just now my turn to progress it, right, and take it to the next level. And that's exactly what I'm doing. That's what our team is doing. And the goal of this challenge that I'm introducing to you is to number one, introduce you to the Institute so you can get a better understanding of who we are and why we exist. Our mission, like I said, is to create change agents, right? Our ultimate goal is to train the trainers. We truly feel that if we can affect top level leaders, then those leaders will then transition into affecting the leaders under them. Because we're all leaders, right? We're all born to lead in our own area of gifting, right? We're all not created to be the same or to do the same things, right? We lead in our intrinsic areas of society, where our skill sets are very effective, are more effective. So the goal of any leader, the goal of any person any individual should be to discover, number one, their purpose, their why for their lives, and then figure out how to direct their skill sets into living out that purpose on this earth. So our institute is built off of the vision that my father had, that we are continuing. And it's a global vision, right? It's not just for me. It's not just for our homeland of the Bahamas, but it's for the world. I truly believe that we all were created for a purpose, on purpose, and that's exactly what these principles introduce. So the principles of purpose are 7 principles that you can find in a book that changed my entire life. I've read it, man, countless of times now, right? And it's my dad's book entitled Unleash Your Purpose. If you've never read this book, if you've never heard of this book, I want to introduce you to this book, Unleash Your Purpose. Please be sure to pick up a copy if you haven't seen it before or heard about it before. If you've read it already, read it again. It's always great to continue to remind ourselves of these principles, and these principles are the foundation of this challenge. This challenge is here for specifically to assist us in exploring why purpose is the foundation for lasting influence. And I just want to kind of briefly go through what these challenges are. All right. So the first principle is God is a God of purpose. You were made with intention. God does not do anything haphazardly. He doesn't do anything whimsically. Everything is done with intent for a purpose. He's a God of purpose. The second principle is everything in life has a purpose. Nothing in life exists by accident. You're not here by accident. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter how you got here, right? You are here. You are created. You are on this earth. That alone shows and should be your the confirmation that you need to know that you are here. That you are here for a purpose, on purpose. So everything in life has a purpose. The third principle of purpose is not every purpose is known. Lack of awareness of purpose doesn't mean that purpose does not exist. So just because you may not know your purpose or may not know the purpose of something, it does not mean that that thing or that you don't have a purpose. It's for a purpose. So when purpose, not every purpose is known. The fifth is where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. I think this is probably my most favorite principle, because this is something that we see on a day-to-day basis. We, as human beings, we don't know our purpose, and we abuse ourselves, we abuse the persons around us, we abuse the resources that we have, we abuse the resources that we come into contact with. When purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. And misuse begins with misalignment. So if we're not aligned on the path or the journey that we're supposed to be on, then our misalignment is going to trigger misuse. If we, I could lean into this a little more. So, and just with a simple example, right? I was putting together a speaking I was putting notes together for a speaking engagement, and thought about this principle, and just kind of had to laugh to myself, because I'm sure we all can think of a time that we were using a product and using it effectively for what we needed it for, but not using it for the purpose that it was created, right? I was doing some renovations at my home, and I wanted to hang a painting on the wall, a picture on the wall, and I didn't have anything to put the nail in the wall with. So I found this book. It was a heavy book, and I put the nail on the wall, and I used the book, and I tapped the nail into the wall. Now, I was effective in being able to put the nail in the wall, but my wife came down and she saw what I was doing, and she looked at me like I was crazy. Like, what are you doing? Why are you using a book when you could just use a hammer? And I was like, man, I couldn't find a hammer, or maybe I was just too lazy to get the hammer, I think, that day. Um, so sometimes, abuse of purpose, or not knowing purpose, I should say, causes misuse, right? So the book was effective in, achieving the goal that I had set out to put the nail into the wall, but the book was being misused. So sometimes we can find something or have something and, be successful with it, right? We can be successful in the job that we're in, or the industry that we're in, or doing it is that whatever it is that we're doing, we can be successful at it, but we can still not be in purpose. We can still not be operating in purpose. So success or unsuccess doesn't mean that purpose is being met or not being met, right? Um, but effective purpose, like when success is met and fulfillment is achieved, which is also a principle of purpose, that's when you know that you are in purpose, you are operating in purpose. So when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. That's number 4. The 5th principle is, if you want to know the purpose of a thing, never ask the thing. Leads into the 6th. Purpose is only found in the mind of the creator. So if you have a product, or you're going through a service, or you want to know your own purpose, you can't ask yourself, man, what is my purpose? You can't ask your friend. You can't ask your parents. You can't ask your guardians. You can't ask anyone around you, man, what is my purpose? It's like asking, it's like getting a new computer, right? Say a MacBook, which I love. I'm not gonna take this MacBook and go to the head of Microsoft and be like, man, what is the real purpose this MacBook was created? Microsoft didn't create it. Someone else didn't create it. In order for me to find the purpose of this device that I am using, I either have to go to the creator or to read the manual that the creator provided. And that's what our goal should be, right? In order for us to really know our purpose, we have to go to our creator, which is God, or we read the manual, which is the life book, which is what I like to call it, the Bible. The Bible has any and everything that we need to know, learn, and understand about our lives, about who we are, about why we were created, about how we are supposed to fulfill our roles, fulfill our purpose here on this earth. And it's not on us to figure that out by ourselves, or to have another human being tell us that. It's on us to ask God and to get Him to reveal these answers to us, and He will, right? If you seek Him and really innately and intently ask Him, man, God, I want to figure out the why for my life. How can I do that? He'll direct you to our challenge, the Monterey Institute of Leadership's challenge, the 5-day challenge of the 7 principles of purpose, so that you can get yourself on the road of discovering truly what your purpose is. And then the last principle of purpose is the key to fulfillment. Kind of hinted at this earlier. But like I said before, you can be successful. We can all achieve success. And I'm sure we've seen countless numbers of individuals who have been successful, but may have said, man, I still don't feel accomplished. I still don't feel fulfilled. I feel like something is missing. And usually that's because it's not whatever they're doing, whatever they're successful at, isn't purpose driven. There is no way that you can be operating in purpose and not feel fulfilled. And feeling fulfilled and operating in purpose has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with status, has nothing to do with being popular or being known. Operating in purpose is fulfilling the intent that God designed for you. That's when we feel completely fulfilled. That's when we feel most accomplished. Now, if we're able to do that and be popular and be known and be financially successful, then obviously that's just icing on the cake. But the goal should be, man, I want to live on purpose for a purpose. And the only way to be fulfilled or fulfill that fulfillment in life is to ensure that we are discovering our purpose. So just want to run down those principles once again. The God is a God of purpose. Everything, and that's the first one. The second is everything in life has a purpose. The third is not every purpose is known. The fourth is when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. The fifth is if you want to know the purpose of a thing, never ask the thing. Six is purpose is found in the mind of the creator. And the seventh is purpose is the key to fulfillment. So these are the 7 principles of purpose. These are the principles that this challenge that I am introducing to you is built on. Now, this challenge, if anything I said resonated with you today, this challenge was built for you. It's a short challenge. It's a 5-day challenge. You're going to see and receive a video, a daily video from me each day. You're going to be able to do some journaling, and then you're going to have some action steps in order to help you align or realign with your purpose. I've done this, a number of times. And again, even if, just to point out, if you're someone who feels you've discovered your purpose, there's nothing against you refining that discovery. I go through these types of practices almost on a yearly basis, right? I want to make sure that I am continuing to be aligned with what it is I am placed on this earth for, because we go through a lot in a 12-month period, right? We meet new people, we discover new ventures, we have new ideas that we want to kind of flesh out and bring to life. And sometimes we can get off track just focused on the wrong things, right? So realignment is always important. So even if you're someone who feels you've discovered what it is you were placed on this earth for, discovered your purpose, refining that discovery is always a must. And as consistently as you can do that, I think the more effective you would be in your purpose, serving in your purpose. So you receive these action items to assist with that realignment. You'll also get a free workbook. So the team and I created this workbook that'll allow you to continue to align or realign yourself in your purpose. It's an ongoing process. Purpose is an ongoing process. Development is an ongoing process. So we want to give you the tools to be able to do just that, right? Life is a learning process. The day you stop learning, it would be the day you start growing. And I don't ever want to stop growing. I always want to be humble enough to know that I don't know everything. I want to be humble enough to know that, man, there is new information out there, new ideas out there, new ways out there that I can do things. And I want to make sure that I'm always an advocate for continued learning. And that's what our institute is about. That's what the Munroe Institute of Leadership is for. And that's part of why, we have put this challenge together for you. So I want to highlight that this challenge is for everyone. Like I say, everyone is a leader. We truly believe as an organization, as an individual, I believe that everyone was created for a purpose. And everyone was created to lead, right? To lead in their own area of gifting. So whether you're a parent, a professional, a public servant, a teenager, a young adult in school or in high school, elementary school, junior school, whatever it is, this challenge is for you. This challenge, I hope that it sparks the desire for you to want to continue to discover and answer the why for your life. Purpose is that important. If it's one thing that I want to ensure that I portray before I leave this earth, is to portray the importance of purpose, the importance of really discovering who it is that you are as individuals, and then why you exist. The discovery for me is continuing. I'm still peeling back these layers of my purpose and my purpose discovery. Each day that I live, each day that I breathe, each day that I get up, I'm excited to just learn more about, man, what does this phase of my purpose reveal? What is it going to reveal? Who am I going to affect? Who am I going to encourage? Who am I going to motivate? And it's transitional, right? We transition from different aspects of our lives into others. I think the older we get, the more focused and conscious we are of being intentional about living on purpose, because we know that we're not here for a long time, so we have to make our time here effective, and that's what I hope that this challenge does for you. So on the screen, you should see a QR code that you can, you know, hold your camera at and click that link, or you can go to our website. It's themil, THMIL.org, www.themil.org. That's where our registration is for our 5-day challenge. The challenge starts on the 19th of this month. So it starts in 5 days, which is this coming Monday. I'm encouraging everyone that, even if if you're not sure this is a challenge for you, still sign up. Check it out for the first day. I promise you won't regret it. This is a self-discovery that everyone needs to go through, regardless of where you are in your life, what it is that you are doing or have been doing. I'm challenging you to take this challenge on head first. Like I say, it starts on Monday. It's our 5-day, 7 Principles of Purpose challenge. I promise you, at the end of the 5 days, if you're not changed, if you don't know a little more about yourself and a little more about your purpose, man, you get your money back, even though the challenge is free, right? But the links to the registration forms are in the chat, or like I said, you can just click the QR code on the image of this video somewhere on the screen, and you can register and sign up for this 5-day challenge. I'm looking forward to hearing your stories, your discovery stories. I'm looking forward to, just continuing to lead in this area of my life where I'm affecting and assisting persons in really discovering their purpose and who they are and why they are. Like I say, signing up for it, you can go to our website. It's themil.org, www.themil.org. The links are in the chat. The QR code is on the screen. You have ample time to prepare and sign up for the challenge. Again, it starts on May 19th, which is this coming Monday. It's a 5-day challenge. It's free of charge. You're going to get daily videos. You're going to get daily action items for you, daily ability to journal as you go through the challenge. And then you're going to receive a workbook to assist you in your ongoing purpose discovery. This is just a start. This is fundamentally part of the reason why our institute, the Munroe Institute of Leadership, has been established for this time, right? For this purpose. As the lead here at the institute, I'm just excited about the effect that we're going to have. And our vision is big. Our vision is global. But we're starting where we are, right? We're starting with what we have, and I think that's all that we can do. That's what the Creator would want. He doesn't want us to wait until we are, or we feel like we're ready, or we feel like we've arrived. No, He wants us. He wants all of us, right? He wants you to start right where you are, right with what you have, and with what you can do, and that's what purpose is, right? Purpose isn't this grandiose thing where it has to be bigger and louder than life, right? Purpose could be something tucked away in a corner, right? Being developed, being pruned for the moment where it'll be introduced to the world. But the real work begins in the background. And, we consider this the background, we consider this grassroots level, and that's what this challenge is for. So I'm encouraging everyone, click the links in the chat, the QR code on the screen, and sign up for our 5-day challenge. This challenge is meant to spark purpose development. Nothing changes until your mind changes. That is my most favorite quote that I've ever heard. And it's so true, right? I can apply that to anything I'm going through in life. If I want to see change, I have to change my mind first. If you feel stagnant, if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, or you're doing things but not achieving the success that you think you should be achieving, or that you feel like you could be achieving, it takes a mindset shift to get past that. And that's exactly what this challenge is for. This 5-day challenge is to challenge your mind, challenge your thinking, maybe to give you a different perspective, a different way to look at things. Using these principles and applying them into different aspects of your lives, and really understanding the purpose of everything, not just of yourself, but of individuals around us, the purpose of them being in our lives at the time that they're there, for the length of time that they're there, the purpose of the resources that we have, the purpose of uh, the, the time and era that were born in, that we're developing in, that we're growing in. Like, everything happens on purpose. Nothing is by mistake. There's nothing like you are here in 2025 at the age that you are, at the time that you are, the mindset that you are right now, on purpose. It was all predestined. And the goal should be to understand why, and then to affect ourselves, or be effective in our purpose journey. Um, Purpose isn't selfish. Purpose isn't on an individual level. Our purpose is not for us. If you feel that the success that you're achieving is because you're in purpose, and you're the only one achieving that success, then you're not experiencing true fulfillment. You're experiencing what I like to call worldly success. Like, yeah, you're successful, right? You're no, you're celebrated by many. You're noticed by a lot. You may be popular in your city, or your country, or your state, or whatever the case. But are you really being effective, right? Do you inside, right? And only you can answer this question. Do you feel fulfilled? If you have to question that at any point, even the slightest questioning, then I think you have some purpose discovery to do, and that's what this challenge is for. Uh, so again, the links are in the chat. QR code is on the screen. Sign up today for our 5-day challenge. It's free of charge. There's no cost to you. We've done all the work. We put this stuff together for you to take advantage of. Um, and our goal is just to affect change as much as we can, as many times as we can. And we hope that we can start with you. All right. Um, so that's it. Just wanted to introduce you to this 5-day challenge. Again, it's the 7 principles of purpose. If you haven't already, if you haven't clicked the link in the chat as yet, go to the chat, scroll through. At some point, you're going to see the link. I'm sure the team is posting the link as many times as possible. Or if you're on a platform where you see a QR code on the screen, just use that QR code, put your camera on it, click the link that comes up, and sign up for this challenge. I'm excited for you. This is something that's really close to my heart. We've been working very, hard behind the scenes, trying to get to this point. And it's so much more work to do, so much further that we want to get. But the fact that we're here, the fact that you're here today, right now, listening to me, means that you have been purposed to hear what I had to say today, and you may be even purposed to take this challenge. So don't miss the opportunity um, to get involved. Don't miss an opportunity to better yourself, right? To discover who you are and why you exist. And if you can understand the true meaning of these 7 principles, it'll change your life, guaranteed. And it will help you to assist others in doing the same, in changing their lives as well. All right. Um, so I'm just kind of seeing these comments come through. You guys have blessed us as an organization. I see someone asking for the link. So the link is there. Hopefully my team continues to post the link. Please post the link for anyone that may have joined and not have seen the link as yet. Or you can just scroll through the chat and go through the chat. Or better yet, here's the website. The website that you can go to sign up for the challenge is the Mill. So it's www.themil.org, right? Somewhere on the screen, you're going to see the challenge pop up, the registration form for the challenge pop up, and that's where you sign up. And then you're going to start receiving the emails that once the challenge starts. Challenge starts on Monday, the 19th. It's going to be a 5-day challenge, so to go from Monday to Friday of next week. We'll do this again at the end of the challenge. I look forward to hearing from you guys, hearing how this challenge went for you, hearing what you discovered about yourself that you didn't know already, or what things that you discovered about yourself that you knew, but now it confirms some things for you. Because that's what it's all about, right? It's about discovery and confirmation. Okay. So that's it. I'm done. This was fun. I love when I get opportunities to have these contact points with everyone. To my YouTube family, man, you guys have been special. Keep tuning into the messages that we post. We have a ton of messages that we're going to continue to post. I do want to plug the app, though, our Munroe Global app. If you haven't downloaded the app as yet, go to your app store and download the Munroe Global app. We have way more content on our app than we have anywhere else in the world. And it's exclusive content. We have content on our app that you generally won't find anywhere else. And the app is continually and consistently being updated. So I'm encouraging you that if you want to continue growing as an individual, right, learning not only about the kingdom, but about your purpose, about developing the vision for your life, and about establishing your leadership here on this earth, that app is filled with resources that can help you with just that. So I'm encouraging you to download the app today. You can view all of the content that we have. Anything you may need answers in, whether it's purpose, whether it's relationships, whether it's marriage, whether it's parenting, whether it's fatherhood, motherhood, whether it's business, any question, any topic you need guidance on, it's available on the app. So I'm encouraging you to download the Munroe Global app today. All right. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time today on this Wednesday. Whatever time it is, where you are, whether it's morning, whether it's afternoon, whether it's evening, whether it's late night, I appreciate you tuning in. It's always a pleasure being able to be here and just live my purpose here on this earth. And I want to help you to do the same. All right. So you guys stay blessed and see you at the top, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy the challenge. Again, we start next week, Monday. The link is in the chat. The QR code is on the screen. Sign up for the challenge today.